Meriç River water will be transported to Tekirdag and Istanbul. In the Thrace region, there are very severe droughts, especially in Edirne, Kirklareli, Tekirdag, and Istanbul provinces. The drought severely affects agricultural production, industrial production, and the need for drinking water. Insufficient and irregular rainfall regime with limited fresh water resources in Thrace region is life-threatening. In order to prevent flooding in the Meriç River, the Canal Edirne project was put into service by the DSI. On the other hand, it is thought that the Meriç River water is transported to Tekirdag and Istanbul organized industrial areas by canals on demand. Canal Edirne, a canal built to prevent floods, is aimed at protecting Edirne from floods experienced when Bulgaria opened dams. This place will be protected from flooding thanks to the bypass canal opened in the project, which was tendered and prepared by the decision of the fortification. In this way, its water will be moved to a place far from the settlement of Edirne. It is planned to transport Meriç River water to Tekirdag and Istanbul organized industrial zones via canals upon request. Preparations are being made to transport Meriç River water from Edirne and Tekirdag to Istanbul organized industrial zone with treatment plants and canals to be established to prevent the discharge of all of the water from Saroz Bay to the sea. In this context, there are new projects being worked on. When these projects are implemented, Meriç River water will be transported through canals to Tekirdag and Istanbul organized industrial zone. Hopefully, soon this project will be completed. In addition, it is even thought that the Meriç River water, which will be treated in the facilities to be established, will be used as drinking water. In cooperation with Bulgarian officials and set up measuring points at some points in Meriç River. In this way, a warning is received to Turkey 24 hours in advance and measures are taken immediately. In Edirne, the water of the Meriç River will be transported to organized industrial zones in Tekirdag, where groundwater will dry up with the project prepared by DSI. The 11th Regional Directorate of DSI in Edirne will provide 227 million cubic meters of water per year with a pipe of about 160 kilometers of OSBs in Tekirdag. The water of the Meriç River will be transported by pipes with a diameter of about 34 meters. 3 ponds will be made in the basins in Tekirdag region. Thrace, one of the important centers where wheat, sunflower, and paddy products are produced, is experiencing the driest period of the last 91 years. In addition to agriculture in the drought-hit region, underground resources are being established due to the water use of industrial enterprises. In Thrace, 85% of the groundwater is depleted. A groundwater level of up to 16 to 17 hectares remained in the Tekirdag region. In other words, with this form of consumption, the underground water level will reach the point where it can no longer be used, it is inevitable. Therefore, groundwater is alarming. The 11th Regional Directorate of DSI in Edirne will carry the water of the Meriç River to the organized industrial zones established in Tekirdag with the project prepared. With the project prepared by DSI, 227 million cubic meters of water per year will be delivered to organized industrial zones in Tekirdag on the Meriç River by giant pipes with a diameter of 3 to 4 meters. Entering the border, the Meriç, Tunca and Arda rivers meet in Edirne, after which the Meriç River empties into the Gulf of Saroz. In order to evaluate the water flowing from the Meriç River, the OSBs in Tekirdag will be brought to Tekirdag by a line to be taken from the Meriç River for the need for use water. 227 million cubic meters of water will be provided annually with a pipe of about 160 kilometers of water used by OSBs in Tekirdag. The Meriç River will carry water through pipes with a diameter of about 34 meters. 3 ponds are planned to be built in the basins in Tekirdag region. It is planned that the lands that will also be irrigated with these ponds will be irrigated. In other words, some water will be taken to agricultural land, but the main goal is to provide the water that OSBs use. Groundwater fell below 250 meters in Tekirdag organized industrial zones. Here, as OSBs usually use wells, they landed wells up to 250 meters below. In order to raise this, these wells must be given up. In order to do this, the water needs of the OSBs, which continue to be widely planned, will be provided by this project, which will also reduce water extraction from wells. Meriç River water will be transported from the Çakmak Dam region by a 160-kilometer pipeline, with a project that will last 6 years. The cost will be about £3 billion. The 160-kilometer line will start from the Çakmak Dam region and go to the OSB's region in Tekirdag. Drilling on the route continues. 3 ponds will be built, and planning of the project will continue quickly when drilling of the ponds is completed. The approximate cost of the project is around 3 billion TL. It seems that there is a very important need to find new water sources for agricultural, industrial and drinking water consumption in the Thrace region. This project has been planned for a long time. Because there is a shortage of groundwater in the industrial sector, factories cannot even increase capacity. So water, which is so important, becomes vital. DSI has done its part in this and implemented the project to bring water from the Meriç River. When the project is realized, capacity increases in the Thrace region will be further grown in terms of industry. 50-year-old problem ends in Ergene River. Meriç River water is now flowing into Ergene River with 13 kilometers of channel. But once you are the lifeblood of Thrace for 50 years, which has become almost a dead river with waste of industrial plants in Ergene River, Kirklareli of the local farmers to improve water quality for irrigated agriculture and the General Directorate of State Hydraulic Works for the years of the project that went ahead and performs the work of the Ergene River, Meriç/Evros River water transfer began. But once you are the lifeblood of Thrace for 50 years, which has become almost a dead river with waste of industrial plants in Ergene River, Kirklareli of the local farmers to improve water quality for irrigated agriculture and the General Directorate of State Hydraulic Works for the years of the project that went ahead and performs the work of the Ergene River, Meriç/Evros River water transfer began. The Ergene Basin Conservation Action Plan, initiated to clean up the Ergene River, whose water flows black due to pollution, continues. The tunneling machine designed by Turkish engineers will be pumped into the Sea of Marmara after the water of the Ergene River is purified through tunnels opened with tulip. With the completion of the deep discharge project, no wastewater will flow into the Ergene River. With no water flowing into the Ergene River, there will be a serious decrease in the flow of water in the Ergene River, which also flows under the historical bridge in the Uzunköprü district of Edirne and which the region's farmer uses for agriculture. In order for the Ergene River to not dry up, the Meriç-Ergene Transmission Canal project, which has been carried out by the State Water Works for many years, has been completed. The water from the Meriç River was directly poured into the Ergene River through 13 kilometers of water channels and started to be used in agricultural activities. About 14,000 hectares of agricultural land in the Ergene Plain is planned to prevent pollution in the Ergene River with the water of the Meriç River, which has started to be used as irrigation water. Ergene River is the bleeding wound of Thrace. Very large investments are being made for the cleaning of the Ergene River. It is also part of the project to transfer water from the Meriç River to the Ergene River for the cleaning of the Ergene River. Since water from the Meriç River is flowing into the Ergene River through 13 kilometers of channels made with pumps, pollution will be prevented by diluting the Ergene River's water. 44% of paddy production in Turkey, 12% of sunflower production and 10% of wheat production take place in Edirne. The water of the Meriç River met the agricultural land in the Ergene Plain, so that agricultural land that was not irrigated in Edirne would not be left. As water began to flow from the Meriç River to the Ergene River, farmers of 13 villages located on the Ergene River plain began to draw water from the Ergene River with pumps to water agricultural products. Due to the drought in Edirne and Bulgaria's retention of water in its dams, sand islets have formed in the Meriç River. If the drought continues, wheat will experience problems, stating that the Kumluköy Dam should be built to store water. In Edirne, the water level in the Meriç and Tunca rivers dropped due to the dry winter and summer followed by autumn. Sand islets formed due to drought in the Meriç River, which started in Bulgaria, passed through Edirne and experienced floods. According to DSI data, the flow rate of the Meriç River, where gulls hunt on the islets, fell from 222 cubic meters per second 2 years ago to 59 cubic meters on the same day this year. In Tunca, the flow rate, which was 16 2 years ago, was measured at 2 cubic meters per second on the same day this year. Falling water levels in the Meriç and Tunca rivers have also been affected by the drought in Bulgaria. The Meriç and Tunca rivers were also affected due to Bulgaria holding water in dams due to drought. According to meteorology, 2020 is the driest year in 90 years. Edirne's average annual rainfall is estimated at 587 kilograms per square meter. So far this year only 386 kilograms of rainfall has fallen. According to meteorological data, rainfall is not expected in the city in a week. If the expected precipitation does not fall, and precipitation does not fall in the following days, there will be problems in wheat. In the summer, the flow rate in the rivers had already fallen considerably. This year, we experienced difficulties in October. This year we survived the season when Bulgaria left some water. But the drought is still ongoing and very serious rains have not fallen. The water of the river flow is now lower than in summer. Looking at past years, even in the months when we get the most precipitation, precipitation is insufficient. During this period, the weather is still sunny, there is no precipitation. Currently there is no serious precipitation anytime soon. In these days, when the winter entered, it is now expected that the precipitation will be good, at least the groundwater will form. Let the water level rise at our river flows, let the dams fill. Wheat farming can be a nuisance if it does not rain in the following days. With the drought this year, it is felt how important water is. Kamlekoy Dam needs to be built. The thought of river flows this year has seen how important water is. This year, Edirne also experienced a low yield of wheat and sunflower. It happened in many, if not all, regions. This again revealed how much water is needed. Let the construction of our finished dam projects begin as soon as possible. After Bulgaria, there is no dam where the water will be stored until the Kakmak Dam. Work is also underway at Kakmak Dam and is not working at full capacity. After Bulgaria, we need to build the Kamlekoy Dam, which is at the starting point of the Tunca River, and store the water so that the farmer can meet the water here and there is no shortage of drought this year. If this dam is built, it will also support the Tunca River up to the lighter dam. Farmers will have obtained their products without drought problems. The project of the dam is in the tender stage. The flow of the Meriç River has increased to 3 times with the last rains. The flow of the Meriç River has increased by 3 times with rainfall falling in the region, approaching the level of seasonal norms. The rainfall, which has been effective since midweek in Edirne, where its basin is located, has raised the flow of the Meriç River. The flow rate of the river, which was 71 cubic meters/second in the measurement carried out at the Kirklareli station on December 6, was 209 cubic meters/second at a level of about 3 times today. According to the modeling, the amount of water in the Tunca River could rise to 40 cubic meters/second and 750 cubic meters/second in the Meriç River, but there would be no flood risk, the 11th Regional Directorate of DSI in Edirne